All right, today's lesson will discuss solving linear inequalities. Solving linear inequalities is similar to solving linear equations. The only difference is when you divide or multiply both sides of an inequality by a negative number. All right, let's look at the example of solving 2 plus x is less than 10. All right, just like the equation, you want to isolate x. You want to get that by itself. So I'm going to subtract 2 to both sides. So I get x is less than 8. And that's as far as I can go. This is a solution, all numbers that are less than 8. And you can demonstrate that on a number line. Where this is 8. All right, and what you're going to do is all numbers that are strictly less than 8. You're not including 8. So we're going to use an open circle because you're not including 8 as a solution. You want all numbers that are strictly less than 8. So you're talking about number 7 and below, like 7, 6. You're not including 8, you're not including 9 or 10 or the numbers above 8, including 8. All right, solve x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 5. All right, just like in the last equation, you want to get x by itself. So the opposite of negative 4 is positive 4. So you're going to add 4 to both sides. So x is greater than or equal to 9. And I can graph that as well. So we have 9. This one you can include 9 in your solution. So you're going to put a solid circle there. That means you can include 9. But you want all numbers that are equal to 9 and above. So 9, 10, 11, 12, all these are solutions. You're not going to include 8 or 7 or 6. Okay, let's look at solving negative 3x is less than 21. Here's where things change up a bit. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. But you have to remember that when you do that, when you divide by a negative number or when you multiply by a negative number, you have to switch that inequality around. So instead of less than, that has to be greater than. And 3 divides into 21 7 times. So you have a negative 7 here. And what's the reason why we do that? For example, let's say I have a negative 1. We know that's less than 2. If I were to multiply negative 1 to both sides or divide by negative 1, I'm going to get a positive 1 here. And if I don't switch that around, it's not going to give me a true statement. 1 is not less than negative 2. So as a general rule, we switch the inequality around when we divide by a negative or positive number. All right, if I were to graph this, this would be negative 7, and I have a negative 8 here, negative 6 here. And we're not including negative 7, so I need an open circle. An open circle there, and I want all numbers that are greater than negative 7, but not including negative 7. So the graph's going to go this way. So numbers like negative 6, negative 5, on up to the positive numbers, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, Solve the quotient of x and 2 is greater than or equal to 5. Or you can say x divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 5. Just like with the equation, you're going to multiply both sides here by the denominator, by 2. So that cancels out. Get 1. 1 times x is x. X is greater than or equal to 10. Alright, so we have 10. That's 11. That's 9. And we include 10, so you use a solid circle. So all numbers that are greater than or equal to 10, so that goes this direction, including 11, 12, on down the number line, including 10. All right, solve 2x minus 3 is less than or equal to 7. Just like with an equation, you're going to isolate the x term first. I have a 2x, so get 2x by itself. So the opposite of negative 3 is positive 3. So you can add that to both sides. So I get 2x is less than or equal to 10. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I get x is less than or equal to 5. And if I were to put that on the number line, we're going to use a solid dot because we're including 5. And you want all numbers less than or equal to 5, so you're going to go this direction to the left. So including 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the negatives. All right, solve 7 minus the quotient of x and 3 is less than or equal to 9. So get the variable term by itself. So let's get rid of the 7. Now be careful, this negative is not on the 7. 7 is in front of the minus sign, so that's still a positive 7. So what you're going to do is you're going to subtract 7 from both sides. Add. So you got negative x over 3 is greater than or equal to 2. And what you want to do is multiply both sides by negative 3. But since we're multiplying by a negative number, don't forget to change the inequality around. So we get positive x is, instead of greater than or equal to, we're going to put less than or equal to negative 6. All right, and if you were to do the graph on that, you're going to have negative 6. You're going to have negative 5, negative 7 here. And you're going to use a closed circle. You want all numbers that are less than or equal to negative 6. So that's going to go to the left on the number line. So you're going down further down the negatives. Negative 7, negative 8. So that's how that is. All right, this concludes our lesson for today.